Stay happy and stay.
Stone Cold beats, sucking that beat tank. Walk in the streets, no tucking my chain. Hop in the low, so we ride both lanes. Sure, I got my one to waste, BBS in the chain. Stone Cold beats, sucking that beat tank. Walk in the streets, no tucking my chain. Hop in the low, so we ride both lanes. Sure, I got my one to waste, BBS in the chain. Full water when I'm moving in the snow. Fear no man, so bring no smoke. Count on the trains, where my pockets gon' hold. Like a big ball shot, blow through the road. Street lights on, we the best that we can roll. Show them what the homies backwoods when they roll. Party, 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 all quiet on our nose. 12 pulled up, head for the back door. Diamonds in the deep, yeah. Bright smile, she see, yeah. Leather in the seas, yeah. Can't you all you see, yeah. You ain't the one for me, yeah. You ain't the one for me, yeah. Phone gon' ring, ring. Sorry, gotta go. This is a this thing. Stone Cold beats, sucking that beat tank. Walk in the streets, no tucking my chain. Hop in the low, so we ride both lanes. Sure, I got my one to waste, BBS in the chain. Stone Cold beats, sucking that beat tank. Walk in the streets, no tucking my chain. Hop in the low, so we ride both lanes. Sure, I got my one to waste, BBS in the chain.
It's your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi. It's in the spotlight with the Baltimore Paparazzi. Power 4.4. Starting a little bit late, but you know how that goes. So this week, I have a familiar face to anyone who's followed my Baltimore Paparazzi interviews. He's been on my show before.
That's right.
And if you follow my Facebook page, you'll seen his pictures multiple times as well.
I'd say multiple.
Yeah, I would. The one, the only Kid Kong.
Congo up. What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course, of course. So, when I had announced that I was getting back on air after a hiatus, you were one of the first ones to be like, hey, remember me?
Yes, I was.
So, we had to get you in here. And yes, it's been multiple times. You've probably got, yeah.
Probably have my own file in your camera.
If I split them up, then yeah, you'd have your own file. Because you're very energetic, you're very active. I've noticed that myself when I take pictures, those artists who are, very active, very engaging, that, get more pictures because, well, I can't say that because J Money Hackett, I get tired, dizzy, back and forth. And yeah, so sometimes I don't get as many pictures of him because he's so active. But you on that stage, and to me, you are just, you're the it's like the happiest place in the universe.
It is. Every single time I'm on stage. It's like, I'm the Energizer Bunny, when I'm on stage, even when I'm not. But there's just like something when I'm on stage in front of the bright lights and everything like that. It's just like, man, I'm here, It doesn't even matter the venue. I'm just like, I go off, It's like a zone.
Right, because I don't remember the first time that I had seen you. I've been having that trouble a lot more. But after 11 years of being in this scene, I hope that people bear with me when I say I don't remember you. Refresh my memory.
Right, of course.
But every time since has been, like, okay, he's getting ready to go off, and then there you go. It's like a zone. That's just like you zone, and you just boom, gone.
Exactly. You're not gonna catch a day where you see me on stage and I'm just still. I'm not cardboard. I'm not a cardboard layout or anything.
Oh, so you're not gonna hold the mic, close your eyes, and rock back and forth while you're rapping?
No, none of this lullaby stuff. No. When you get me on stage, I guarantee you're gonna have to follow me around. It's gonna look like I'm going through time. I'm gonna look like a blur every time I go on stage.
So in other words, he's gonna have the Bruce Leroy glow. That's what I call it.
All that.
Right.
He's not a part.
I seen what show was it? Was it at the Summer Jam? Did you got on stage? You did a song?
Yeah, I did. I was with Marvelous doing Marvelous and Corey Lee doing the song Tidal Wave.
Yeah. I was like, hey, how'd you get up there? But you know, I love to see artists that collab. You know what I mean? Like, I know that you know you're I guess affiliated with Wisdom Court Entertainment.
How would I know?
Yeah, exactly. So, and I like to see when artists reach out to other artists.
Yeah.
You know, so, I've seen at that same show, Jay Money brought out Life of Jay, and I think he had Sky on there as well. Well, he goes by Cruddy Live, but he's still Sky to me. So, and I just love the fact that they don't like. Artists don't stick to their own little clique, their own little crew or whatever, and never reach out to somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's like a certain method that even Cali is used, that Atlanta's using right now. Those down south rappers, they're bringing everybody up with them. There's power in numbers. Basically, you're gonna do a lot better if you sit there and bring up this guy or that guy or that female artist, because people got to bond together. Not only does it help with networking, you got to network to get work. It'll basically be able to help both of y'all out in a sense, or everyone for that matter. So as soon as Baltimore hops on that wave, then everybody will be good.
Well, I've been hearing people say that for the past 11 years, and it's just like it's like supporting fans. I tell people all the time, when they start yelling about support, and I'm like, you're not going to get everybody to support you in your home base. You get that core fan base. Cool. I got a core fan base in Baltimore where I came from,
right.
And now I'm stretching out to other places. But you keep that core, because like I said, not everybody's going to vibe with your music. Not everybody's going to, it's not going to happen. And the whole collab thing, like, I'm noticing more and more songs with other artists. Okay, for instance, when Eminem when he did Kamikaze, and he had that song with Joyner Lucas. I don't really even know Joyner Lucas like that. I don't pay attention to artists that are on the radio half the time anyway.
Right.
But I was like, wow. That's awesome. Logic dropped the project. I'm not the biggest Logic fan. And it's nothing to do with, like, people don't like Logic because he's like one of those artists that he's giving you messages.
Yeah, conscious rapper.
Yeah, he's a conscious rapper, and he doesn't do a whole lot of, going crazy and saying outlandish things. But I can guarantee you there's people that don't like Logic for that reason. When they heard the song with him and Eminem and the song with him and Joyner Lucas, because I changed my mind about him. And I'm noticing, like I said, a lot more artists are doing these collabs. Like, they call them features.
Right.
So, like Young Thug and J. Cole. Who would have thought that would have worked?
You told me that, I'd been like, no. There ain't no way they linked up on shit. Seriously?
That song was actually, The London is actually a really good song. And I don't like Young Thug. So that's why I'm
Young Thug.
No, I don't.
Oh, you just hurt my soul.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
But in Baltimore, I like to see it as well. And I don't think there's enough of that, because I don't know who told these people that the only money there's not enough money for everybody to get, because I hate to tell you there is, but they act like it, like, oh, well, I'm not going to do this because maybe
Yeah, exactly. It's the crabs in the barrel method. They sit there and think, oh, well, let me just get all that. Like, no, there's plenty to go around. Trust me, and it makes for a lot better if everybody just sits there and works together, instead of just that mine mindset. Honestly, my last album, Supernova, it has a lot more features than I thought were gonna be on it. just for the simple fact it's like, yo, let me show these people love. You know, like I network with a lot of them. You know, it's got Marvelous, it's got Misread, it's got, you know, Drug Money Santino, you know, even Young Symbol from my own clique. Shout out to Audio Optic Entertainment. You know, and it makes for the basis of, it's better to just sit there and put people on because you have no idea what you can get out of it. Even me doing my collabs with people that associate with Wisdom Corp. And now I look back at it, I'm like, man, they show me so much love now. Instead of just the whole, you know, shunning your back to them, you know, let me just do my thing for you know, my people.
Right.
It works a lot better to just work together. Like I said, the crab in the barrel mentality has never worked out for anybody. At the end of the day, all crabs going to get cooked. You feel me?
Exactly. I think, well, one thing that might be a concern to, you know, people about working with other people, you know, that I'm not gonna say scam artists or anything, but like I'm trying to figure the words out, y'all. Just bear with me. Almost as if it's like I'm gonna help. They're using me to boost themselves. You know what I mean?
So clout chasing.
Well, something like that,
like,
or
you're gonna use me to get to where you need to get and stuff
exactly.
Like that. Like, I mean, you know,
it
could be love, it could be clout. Like, I mean, what's really the hurt? What's really the hurt if somebody does do something like that?
Right.
You know, even if they do, even if it seems kind of like shiesty or whatever, it's like, okay, well, at the end of the day, you know, what you think they're gonna rebound you and take what you got? Not necessarily. That's not how it works. They're not just gonna Michael Jordan yeet over you, you know, to get over your thing. Maybe it might even show more love in a sense. You're like, damn, this guy that you know, he didn't get a lot of love before he collabed with this guy, and now his people, you know, the ABCD method might have worked out. Maybe that might bring you more fans. Just in a sense, off the strength that, oh, he's doing a collab with a nobody, so he must really be for the streets. He must really be for the people. You know?
Right. So what do you think about those underground artists? Because I hate to call them local, but those underground artists say, yeah, man, I'll do it, but my fee is.
Well, it all really depends. I honestly believe that because even with like artists, even so much as like production and even my own engineer, shout out to Mix by Kruger. He's somebody who I honestly believe this in my heart of hearts is the best engineer in the city. But because he's not known or the most known or whatever, does that mean you should get it for free? No, I truly believe that it's like paying an outrageous price for a feature, that's ridiculous. I think people should barter. I think, let's say this guy has a studio, this guy has a beats. All right, we'll put that together. I don't think anybody, just because of the strength of them having followers, sit there and be like, yeah, 2,000 for a collab, something like that. It's like, okay, I could do that. Or let's say you need a logo. I can make logos. And you have your feature, or like you have your presence. All right, that's cool. Let's put those things together. You know, something like that. If people thought less with just money, there would be a lot less arguments.
Right, and that's true. I mean, because I had talked to an artist one time, and I didn't even ask the question. He was just talking. He was like, I need to get paid for my time because, you know, I guess in the past he's written and recorded, and the other person didn't use it or whatever the case may be, and so they felt like their time was wasted. And I mean, I can understand that. I really can. But, you know, I think, like you said, either barter or even if it's just a couple dollars, like, yo, man, pay for my gas getting here to record or, you know, something like that. Right, like, but I think, like you said, my fee is $300. For what? How many? How many fans do you have? What do your numbers look like?
Right, exactly.
How popular are you?
Like, yeah, your gas, maybe, let's say it's like, you know, man, like, I'm hungry, I have, like, low blood sugar or something, you know, I need to go get a couple snacks or something. All right, cool. You know what I mean? But don't sit there and hit me with on some old, like, $500 for a feature or something like that. I mean, I've been in this and I've been doing this for a little bit, and I don't even hit artists with that. My fee is, I do it more like, all right, so what do you have that can be beneficial in a sense? How can we both help each other off of this? You know what I mean?
You know, I'm going to get ready to hit you over top of the head with something. An artist that was traveling with Stevie Stone and Maya Child when they did the show here in Baltimore at Auto Bar. One of the guys, when he got on stage, he looked like B-Rad from The Boo, from Malibu's Most Wanted. He looked just like that character. And I was like, oh my goodness, so what's he getting ready to do? And he shocked me to no end. And mind you, he's on this multi-city tour with Stevie Stone from Strange Music.
Had to get here somehow.
But
shock factor works, trust me.
But he was awesome. He could play guitar, he could rap, he was good. But I'm getting ready to hit you over the head with, Apex the Genius was talking to him after the show. Was like, yeah, man, got his Instagram and all that stuff. He was like, man, how much do you charge for a feature? He said, I don't charge anything. What?
Right?
He's not an assigned industry artist. He was just on this tour. But you're on this, like, you don't want a couple dollars for because your name, and it just, it kind of shocked me. But the guy was just so down to earth about everything. I was like, yo, yeah, okay. I'm sure, as he gets a little bit further in his career, probably by the end of this year, he might say, a couple hundred or something.
Right, yeah, something.
But he told Apex, he was like, you charge nothing. Apex was like, I'm getting him on a song. I'm telling you. I was like, good, because I liked him. But, with me, I've been in this scene, like I said, for 11 years. I've seen a lot of things, heard a lot of things. And these, some of the stuff is like, you can't make this up. Like I said, I heard somebody, he's like, oh yeah, I want such and such amount for I was like, for a feature? Like, you're not even like on like Damon Blues status. Right. I'm just saying, you want that much, it's my time. And I was like,
your time. This is my time too. I understand. It's like, I hit you up for a song and everything like that. But I mean, you got plenty of time.
If they got millions of views on their YouTube channel and all these followers on Twitter and everything, and and this okay, they make a post on Facebook and it gets 2,000 likes. I might pay you a couple dollars when you post that song. We'll do a video too, and yeah, we'll do it. That I can understand that, but how long have you been in the doing music?
Me? I want to say doing it professionally now, 2, 3.5 years. I mean, I always did the whole freestyling, having fun and everything like that. But I didn't start taking it seriously till about 3 years ago. Honestly, because I did the whole traveling thing, trying to find myself, and then I came back to my hometown because these were where my connects were, and I started moving the pieces around, forming my own team, AOE and everything like that, and now I literally look at it like, man, I think this is what this was all about, you know what I mean? The purpose of putting these artists and these people, basically seeing how the universe works, you know what I mean?
And are you kind of almost like a self-contained, because you say you do logos.
Oh no, I don't actually do logos. I have people but I have people within my squad.
That's what I'm saying. You have almost like you're self-contained. Okay, if I need flyers made, I need somebody to design a flyer.
Right, exactly. If I need somebody to design a flyer or something like that, or even just like the logo now, I'll have Young Simba make me a logo. If I need somebody to make me a beat, I'll go to Mixed by Kruger or Blurred. If I need my engineer stuff, I'll go to Kruger. If I need videography, I'll go to Kareem. It's just all one of those things. I keep everything in my squad, for the simple fact that it's all around me.
Right.
Everybody in here is multi-talented. Yeah, I can sit there and hit somebody up on IG and they'll make me a logo too, but hit me with the whole, $100, $200 or something like that. Or I could go to somebody in my own squad. Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's even people that make cartoons. Shout out to Alex Art. Where else you gonna find cartoons? Or at least cheap ones. I'm not gonna hit you with $1,000 for 5 seconds of you waving.
This is true. So you've only been really doing the music for like you said 3 years,
Right. I just dropped my first major project. You know what I mean? Supernova out on Apple and iTunes. I had to go ahead and throw that in it. But yeah, everything else was strictly just SoundCloud or maybe a couple basic, videos and everything like that. But then as soon as you start getting to the whole platforms and digital platforms, that's when you're like, okay, I take it seriously now.
Right. So, yeah, I know you do a lot of events with Billy Live and Wisdom Court.
Yes, I do.
And like I said, he's kind of almost like that's why I said self-contained, because he's self-contained as well. He's got people around him that, he don't have to sit on Facebook and be like, hey, I need somebody who shoots videos. Who y'all got,
Right, exactly. He's got a squad, a family of people around him that believe in his vision. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's like every city has their Nipsey Hussle, in a sense. You know what I mean? Honestly, you again put some cornrows on Billy, bigger beard. There's Nipsey Hussle. There's people around that have like a certain vision for certain cities, and they push and they grind towards it, and then they get a community of people, that believe in them. I mean, really look at it. You have like the Wisdom Court, like Easter hunts, or like the food drives and all this other stuff, and it's like basically like a community leader, but like self-sustained. Like he's got people he can sit there and go to and be like, hey, I need this. You know what I mean? It's gonna get done.
Right. Have you been like able to see like how big this scene really is? Like all the different types of artists, rappers. Because artists and rappers are two totally different things for me. I don't know about anybody else, but they're two totally different. They do the same thing because artists, rap, but rappers just rap.
Right.
It's to me
definitely a huge difference. Like artists can make like different sort of sounds mesh and throw a little bit and anything. Rappers, in a sense, usually they have their voice bigger than the beat. Right after being in the studio with Kruger so many times, it's like rappers actually rap, whereas like even in my case, there's certain songs I find myself, I'm like, am I really defined as a rapper? Sometimes I really feel like I don't even rap. I just sort of like put certain words together, or kind of like I said, like my inspiration was Kid Cudi. He wasn't really a rapper,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
But
so
yeah, definitely being in the scene, I noticed it. Oh yeah, I noticed it.
Yeah, and like people, like when I say something about, I say artists and rappers, they're like, what are you talking about? I said, he's rapping, yes. But he's doing the same thing, but it's like an artistry to it. I'm a big person on lyrics. I don't like the repetitive thing, saying the same thing, rhyming the same word to itself. Give it some thought process.
Exactly.
Dr. Seuss. I've always said this. I had always said this. Like Lil Wayne could rap Dr. Seuss.
Exactly.
Over an awesome
one
beat.
Fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. You're like, man, I relate to that. Man.
Right. I mean, like I know what he means.
He's talking my soul right now.
But then you got somebody who takes that Dr. Seuss and rewords it to actually, not be nonsense. That's in my mind. That's
I know exactly how that is, because I got to go to countless amount of shows, and honestly, usually most venues that aren't like Wisdom Court or wherever, I have to sit there and hear about rappers talking about the same exact shit. It's just different beats with mine, and it's so irritating. Even honestly, like for me, when I'm listening to an up and coming artist or anybody like that, and it's like a message for everybody. Please stop talking about how much money you got, how much gold you got. We get it, okay? Guess what? We live in a city full of people that have gold, that have, shined in their new cars. Don't care how many hoes you like. There's already a million of you already doing that, and that's why even at like I said, outside shows, I'll get like people that kind of like cock their head at me like a confused dog. They're like, "What is he talking about?" Yeah, because the only thing that's usually stuffed into your brain is somebody telling you how much money they got. You're like, who cares? It's everywhere. I'll respect a guy at 9 to 5 that's talking about something completely different than listen to the next Yutz with about like 24 karat gold on him talking about how he's got it. Like put some type of substance into your stuff. Because quite frankly, even me, like, and you can see it in my eyes in a sense, like this trap is getting so old to me. It's getting so overplayed, so played out. Granted, every once in a while I throw on, it's like, yeah, sure. We all know what liquor and twerking and all that other stuff can do once you hear the right beat. But I swear, if I hear any more trap beats, I'm going to lose my mind.
I think it's just because, well, with the industry, what they do is, and I had somebody tell me, well, this is what the people want. I'm like, okay, no, let me tell you something. So the record companies come up with the bright idea, and then they feed it to everybody until you're being told that, oh, this is what the new thing is. This is what the new thing is. Like with fashion, I remember people making fun of MC Hammer with those parachute pants, you know, them big things. Turn around, next thing you knew, like Chris Brown had on those pants that kind of flapped over,
Yeah.
which basically they weren't the same, but they looked like, I mean, how they were. Because Chris Brown wore them, that was fashion. Right. The music companies do the same thing with music. Oh, this is what's hot. This is what's hot. This is what's hot, until you are brainwashed to say, oh, this is so hot. But with trap music, what I found is I like that turn up music. I like the music.
Right.
I can deal without the words because I don't understand them half the time. And they're usually just repetitive words anyway.
Right.
So the beats are what's popular.
Right. It's more of the beats, if anything, is what carries it. And I know these record companies sit there and think like, no, this is what the people want. No, the people want the beats. All right. Like honestly, the rappers on it, no, that's the Palmer song talking. All right. The beats within itself are hard. They're slapping. Producers don't even get near enough credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, turn that beat off and go a cappella, and you're like, what is this nonsense? This is, and like you said, like, you know, what was it, a few years ago, I remember it was feminine to be wearing like skinny jeans and having like really skinny shirts on. Now you see black boys wearing them. You're like, what the?
They're wearing like 3 T's now because they're so, and I will never understand how you're going to sag these pants. You sagging them, but they're skin tight. I'm like, okay, I'm so confused. But that's what I'm saying. With like, we're told what is fashion. We're told what is popular. We're told, you know, constantly, and they know that after a while you get brainwashed into thinking this is what it is. And I told my friend, I was like, that's not what people want. That's what they're told that they want.
Right, exactly.
That's why I'm still listening to 90s and early 2000s.
That's why I'm rocking tie-dye. I'm like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know I look fly in some G-Star jeans. But am I going to sit there and rock them just because somebody else told me to? No.
Right.
No, I'm going to stick to my tie-dye. I'm going to stick to, you know, whatever I feel like I'm wearing. I don't care if I got to go to Old Navy. As long as everybody else ain't wearing it. Quite frankly, I'll go to a show and there'll literally be like everybody around me flashing, got gold on, got like $1,000 worth of stuff on. And they're just me with, you know, my fedora and tie-dye on. And they just like, man. But it's like, it's funny too, because that's the method. Because I had a lot of people that pointed me out that are like, yo, Kid Kong, you know. But you see the difference? If somebody looks different and 100 people look the same, who are you going to recognize?
Right.
The guy that was looking different. Because
right.
You'll be able to pick me out of a crowd any day. Usually colored dreadlocks, fedora, tie-dye on. Tie-dye's not an everyday thing. You got to switch it up every once in a while. But still, you know,
right.
You're going to be able to know which guy's Kid Kong out of that.
This is true. This is true. This is true.
I like to be different. That's always been my way.
Mm-hmm. I go against the grain. That's my problem. I go up against it. I just don't. I don't like to follow.
Yeah, no, I definitely like lead. Don't get me wrong. Like maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, I've been like, yeah, I'll follow in a sense, whatever. But now that I'm a little bit older, you know, a little bit smarter, I'm like, yeah, no, I'd rather create my own lane. And it's worked so far. Like honestly, I don't have a giant following, but I have enough of a following that I'm like, yeah, you know, these are people that are like, man, you're different, and you're actually going for it. I'm like, yeah.
Right. That's like I said about the dude. His name is Phil Morrow, that looked like Jamie Kennedy, and because I was like, okay. And the other guys, not to take anything from One Ton, or who else, I can't remember, but Phil Morrow made more of an impression on me because he did not look, quote unquote, look the part of a rapper.
Right, because you usually have an expectation of a rapper, like,
right.
You know, just sitting there bling bling and everything like that. Not Malibu's Most Wanted. Hey, I know people like that do that. Even when I every once in a while I put a Kruger on a bill, You know, that guy on the couch. They'll sit there and be like, what is he doing on stage? He doesn't have the tattoos. He doesn't have the piercing. He doesn't have the gold teeth.
Right.
And he gets on stage and rocks his show. And I've noticed it's like a crowd of people like, yo, you did not look like you can rap. He's like, that's the point.
Right. And I mean, that's like a stereotype. Like, you know, we're like I said, we've been trained to...
Right, to believe this is what rappers are supposed to look like.
Right.
This is, you gotta look your freshest. You gotta look the flyest. You gotta look the nicest. You know, it's like you wouldn't think a rapper would look like. Honestly, I'll put it to you like this: anybody in my crew. If my crew does not look like rappers, no, we look like we would be more suited for like those multi-generational McDonald's commercials they used to have like back in the day, where everybody holding hands and doing the like
Kumbaya.
Right? Like yeah, like we look like the Reading Rainbow title, you know. But like then you hear us, and they're like, that came out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah,
See, I like when people surprise me because I've seen everything and anything you can think of on that stage. I've seen, like I said, there in all actuality, because I made that comment about you just don't stand there with your eyes closed. I actually had a man come to me and tell me, you better get your camera ready because when my guys get on stage, yeah. I said, okay, my camera's always ready, but all right. His artist gets on stage, has the mic, closed eyes, and just rapping. What am I supposed to be looking at? I don't know. I really don't know. That's why I made that comment, because I've seen I've seen that. I've seen rapping over your vocals and not knowing your own words. I don't know if it was like stage fright or what, or they were just too drunk. I've seen just about, I mean, like I said, people that got on the stage and I'm like, okay, what's it? And just blow me away.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. As a person who has gotten his fair share of drunk, the last thing you want to do is close your eyes because you're gonna be riding the blackout train. you don't want to be on that stage with your eyes closed and you drunk, but that's how you fall off. Just take one shot, like I'll take a picture of the guy.
Yeah,
a nice little something to wake up to in the morning.
But so I've seen like I said, I've had that wow moment where I've just been thrown, I'm speechless. Okay, you got me. And then I've seen where isn't that just the song that they just played on that last set? Is this the same song? Because it sounds like the same beat, and they sound like they're saying the same words. And then I lose interest, and I stand at the front of the stage. And what you do not want to do is lose my interest, because this is what I'm doing next. Camera down here, my phone in my hand. Look up. Oh, he's still doing the same thing. Okay. I got about 5 pictures of that. Okay. And just, I'm not, or if my ears are hurting and I'm just gonna be like, because I wear all my expressions on my face. I can't stop it. I've done it before where some girl had walked by or something, and I made a face and everybody was like, Lisa. And I was like, I'm sorry, did I make a face? It does it by itself. I'm sorry.
Resting face is like something about.
No, she scrunches up and she's like everything. It's not a resting face. It's just So, one thing you don't want to do is have me standing there and just looking all confused and like zoned out. I'm like, I'm not even drinking, but maybe I should go have a few drinks.
Hey, might help me loosen up. Might be a couple more.
Maybe, you know how they have beer goggles? Maybe they got like drunk hearing aids or something. I don't know, where everything sounds good.
But I personally would buy those. Yeah, because there have been a couple times.
I might need to copyright that, trademark it, patent it or something. Might make some money.
I gotta watch that saying in front of our iPhones and Androids. You're gonna find that to be a product in 5 years. In California, they already making this.
Right.
Something like that.
What? Oh, she said, okay, let's work on this. Yeah. Watch my idea be out there.
Mike, your FBI agent is lit right now.
Man. The NSA done said, beep, boop, boop, beep, beep. Yeah. Well, at least they're listening. Ha!
Right.
Let's take a listen to a song, or because you sent me 3. You said one of them was short. Can't be no shorter than my man Young Cobain, who came down from PA. How much was that one song? 1:50.
53 seconds.
Yeah.
And the last one, the first one I just played, is 2 minutes.
Yeah.
In day and age, everybody has very short attention spans.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, not all of them are like short or anything like that. Just, like I said, people with really small attention spans. So they're usually like 2 minutes long.
Mm. So, what song we getting ready to play? What song we getting ready to play?
Go ahead and throw that High Times on there. This is actually a new one from me and my man Young Simba from Audio Optic Entertainment. We're playing Crash. Just something that you could tune out, vibe to. You know my weird little style, like the throw on stuff.
Right. Well, this is In the Spotlight with your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi, and we'll be right back after this song. My high just kicked in.
I'm dreaming.
My songs are mastered. Remember that.
Like I'm on another planet. Unless I got a fellow, I'm may smoke till I feel better. Now we drink yours brown and yellow. You can't smoke like me, big fella. We to the head, I'm not move faster. I'ma stay here, I'ma smoking ass faster. I'm in the bathroom, we gon' ladder. Stuck to the wall like faster. Rolling chocolates, rolling backwards. Rack them up like Sam's presents. Side by being naughty.
Chicken sandwich from 7-Eleven because I had to put something on my stomach.
We run a little late, so I was like, hey, we'll eat afterwards. And it's right there. Oh, man.
Welcome back to In the Spotlight with your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi on Power 4.4. Yeah, did y'all like that? Because that was kind of, like you said, he does vibes. So he was, if y'all watching the live, either his live or which one's that one? The Power 4.4 live. On my YouTube channel, yeah. He was, yeah. I felt like I was on an airplane.
That's what happens when you listen to my stuff. You know?
I really did. Like, I was listening. I was multitasking, too, because I was trying to answer. No, that was before I walked in the door. I had to hit that vape before I came in. That gelato is awesome, yes. I was afraid to hit the Sour Jack, because I'd probably be in here just, like, dumb.
You'd have heard that song and Out.
I would have been just dumb because anyway. I've never smoked in my life. I smoked cigarettes when I was younger, but never smoked any weed or anything.
You don't smoke weed?
No. Never touched it. Never touched it.
Yeah.
I had to get a medical card because nothing else, none of the other well, they would only give me ibuprofen and Aleve for my pain. And then the anxiety medication that they gave me night terrors of killer clowns.
Yeah, see, no, don't.
So I went ahead and went the route after being, told this is medical, it's geared towards this. There's different strains, there's different things, and I'm so glad that I did.
Yeah, because trust me,
professional weed.
No, just a vape. Just a vape. I'm working my way through different things.
I promise you, if you smoke a joint of gelato, you won't see Pennywise coming after you. I promise you.
What's crazy is one of my best vape cartridges was called Pennywise.
Oh my God.
And it was awesome. I had no anxiety. I was calm. I didn't want to punch people. I didn't care. I loved everything in life. My body was so right because it's 1-in-1. So it's CBD.
Puff of that before you come in.
No, y'all gotta stop giving me anxiety. Don't. I'm gonna look. I'll tell on y'all. But Pennywise is 1-in-1, so that means it's CBD. It was a little bit more CBD than THC. So like all my nerve pain, yeah. I let my friend hit it. He called me. He texted me like when he got to this house. He said, 5 minutes after I got on the road, it hit me. And he was like, and I don't get high off of pens. it's something dirty, like pens. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't roll weed, so yeah, I guess we're good.
Right.
But anyway.
You ain't got to go through the whole system of, licking it up.
Yeah, I got a problem with that anyway.
People's germs.
But... that's like I said. I've listened to songs because people made songs and they're the laid back kind of vibing, and that one was mild compared to some of the I can't see you performing that one. Well, maybe I could. Yeah, I don't even know why I lied to myself.
I was gonna say we can figure it out because I know you used to be jumping around and everything like that.
Yeah, that was a milder version of I can just.
It wasn't like Get Back.
Yeah, right.
When I'm performing Get Back with Marvelous, good Lord, I'm jumping everywhere.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like that song too.
Thank you.
And I think Corey Lee is one of he's so awesome. I just love him. I asked him, I don't know if it was that show or the show before. I was like, where are your goggles? He was like, no, I'm coming out with something else. Because he's got a gimmick, more or less. And it's not, almost like a trademark.
Right. It's genius, actually. I've seen that or whatever. He had a show over around my neck of the woods, man. I seen him. I'm like, Corey, man, what's going on with you? Like, dapped him up, saw him perform. I was like, man, the way he's got the crowd's energy, man, he's going to be going places.
Yeah.
Dude.
Because I was doing an interview, and it must have been like Marvelous's first interview, because he was like, I asked him a question, be like, yeah. And I was just sitting there like, okay.
Maybe he hit the Pennywise. I don't
know. And he just wasn't, he was talkative, but he was just not engaging me.
Well, Marvelous. He's like, I'm too cool for my own.
Right.
Okay, he might have just been like,
So, I talked to Corey, and so we're listening to one of the songs. I said, and I'm listening. I said, I looked at Corey and said, that's you? He was like, yeah. I was like, man. And because I'm just one of those people that I listen to your words, I listen to your flow. If you're on beat, because nowadays the thing is to rap off beat, I guess. Look at, what's his name, Blueface?
Blueface, Two Fish, Redfish, Bluefish, he sucks.
Right.
But I mean, I guess, if that's what's cool, that's what we're doing.
No, that beat is hard. That Tatiana beat.
No, that Tatiana beat was hard.
Right.
Yeah, Blueface, Redface, Yellowface, whatever. It sounds like sushi. But
that's your water.
I get free water?
Yes.
Oh, we done made it, y'all. We done did it.
Got free water.
And it's cold. None of this drinking out the sink stuff. See, this is why we're musicians.
I wouldn't drink the water out of no sink. in Baltimore anywhere.
You know what? You'd be surprised in certain spots where you just like, you're like, yo, you got anything in the fridge? You go check. And there'll be like applesauce, mayonnaise, chocolate syrup, hot sauce, and a thing of water. And you're just looking at that sink like, I'm just gonna walk to 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven's like 10 blocks down the road, but I'm gonna go get something.
Shoot, I'm gonna go hitchhike before I sit there and drink our water. No offense, I love the city, but I ain't.
Yeah,
You even got the ice cubes with it. You gotta boil our water to be able to drink our water.
right. It's not as bad as Flint, Michigan, but
Oh no, but you ain't getting there.
somebody said something about drinking the city water. I said I don't drink. I grew up on a well. We had a well. My parents still have the well, but the town that they live in made them switch over to the city water.
Right.
Or
See,
face a fine. And I'm like, I've been drinking well water all my life, which is basically like spring water that comes right off the mountain.
right.
And I turned the water on one day. I was like, I could smell the chemicals in that water.
Right. See, no, when you gotta boil down the sulfur, or when you just sit there and smell it, you're just like, I don't even want to bathe in this stuff. I gotta put this on my body.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go outside with the pool and take the hose. Before I sit there and if I smell my water, there's a problem.
Yeah, that's why I can't. Like I said, if it's a dire emergency, like I have to drink something.
Now, like if I'm in the desert or something and I see a faucet and it's labeled with our water, I guess it's my time to go.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Hey, I may talk a lot of mess on my city and its water supply, but like I said, it's only because I'm from here. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when Trump was talking about our city. It's like, hold on now. This is my city. I'm allowed to sit there and say, our water tastes like doo-doo because I've had to drink the doo-doo water. You've never had our water. You stay back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I've seen where people were talking about, so we can talk about our city, but nobody else can. And
It's like the big brother with the little brother. You know what I mean? Hey man, I'm gonna mess with you. I'm gonna kick you, chip you down the stairs or whatever. I'm not downstairs. We ain't going that crazy. But you know what I mean? I'm gonna mess with you, but no one else can. You know what I mean? That's the Baltimore mindset. It's like, yeah, we can mess with you, but ain't no outsider gonna touch you. That's not
I mean, and I think the main thing with what he has said. Yes, we do have rats, but guess what? So does New York and Chicago and any other big city that not even has to be a big city. Everybody has.
Yeah, literally everywhere where there's trash or anything like that has rats. Granted, I understand our rats can be considered SUVs, but it's like that's everywhere.
You ever see one of those rats chase a cat?
Yes, it did that to mine the other day. I literally looked at it. I'm like, man, you could put a saddle on this.
When I lived over on Poplar Grove, I lived on Winchester and Poplar Grove, and we were on the porch and we were looking. I thought it was two cats. I thought it was a big cat and a little cat. No, it was a rat chasing a cat up the alley. So yeah, because people always make that joke, and I'm like, I actually did see that. I wonder how many other people have seen the rats do crazy things.
Oh yeah, so have I. Like I said, I got a little dog or whatever. And I sit there and I let him out on the leash like the other day. I'm sitting there. And I go let him in or whatever. I'm thinking it's my dog staring at me, just kind of chilling by the cans. I'm like, how'd you get out there? I go, look, that's a big old rat. I'm like, ugh.
Well, where I live at now, I have raccoons, and I'm still in the city. So I have raccoons. We had a fox.
Foxes are cool. I mean, like anywhere where there's like woods and stuff like that, you'll see that. I've seen a couple of them. Like roaming around the neighborhood and everything. I'm like, are they dangerous? I did not watch enough Nat Geo to be able to tell if I should try to pet it or run.
Who in their right mind would think that Baltimore City would have a fox problem? Right, exactly.
Like man,
Trump ain't talk about that. Right. He ain't talk about the fox and the raccoons that we got.
You talked about the rodent situation.
In some places we got deer too. Still in the city. Still in the city.
Right. Now, if you see a deer walking around in the middle of the city, then it's like, okay, this world's officially lost its mind.
Well, we had.
I've seen a couple.
Really, like just in like neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
We just had some bulls loose not too long ago again.
Bulls.
Yes, we got
Where
bulls.
are y'all finding these animals?
They're here in the city. Bulls. I mean, we got the Arab horses, but yeah, there was bulls. I don't know.
Are you talking about like a neighborhood, or you talking about the actual Baltimore Zoo?
No, it was Baltimore. It was in the city.
Hold on.
I know. I don't know who gave them a permit for that shit. You can't get a permit to build nothing, but you can get a permit to have animals.
I mean, the way I see it, a deer is more likely of a chance to get shot by a hunter in the woods than it does in the city. So, yeah, like, You know, as a deer, I'll go right there on Guilford before I go near the woods, knowing it's hunting season.
He has a point. He has a point.
Right.
How we get on this dance? I told you this is not. These are no longer interviews. These are conversations that go everywhere. They go where they're supposed to go, but they do come back around and go some. They go left, right, upside down, inside out.
Anybody that's ever met me knows I go everywhere, upside down, this and third, energetic. That's what happens when Congo's on your show. This is what happens.
I see. Now, I asked him in the first interview, because names to me are just like amazing to me. I tell my story all the time on how I got my Bottom Paparazzi name. I'll be forever indebted to Nick Soprano. If I ever make money, I'll make sure I give him some. Look, it's recorded. I gotta stick by that. But I talked about your name because I was like, Kid Kong. What in the world? Where did that come from?
Yeah, but then when I told you why I got the name, you looked at me like I was crazy. This got like 2 different meanings actually. What is it? I can't remember. King in due demand and Kid on new grounds. It's like an acronym. And then the second, like the first meaning or whatever was when I was traveling. I was out in the like the woods. I think I was out in the redwoods or whatever. So me being me, I was all messed up. I was on my hippie moment and everything. But it was like a fun hippie moment. And like I see this little pit where there's like fire. And I'm just like standing around it. And there's like monkeys on the side of it. And I'm just sitting there, mind you, like, I'm on my everything. I got like the dirt war paint like this. I think I got like maybe like barely even a loincloth covering, because I was homeless. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there and all of a sudden like I noticed I've got the ability to climb up trees and go completely and utterly ape crazy. I'm like, okay, I figured it out now. I will be known as Kid Kong from this moment.
That story got me the first time, and it's just one of those stories, like, and the way he told it the first time, and this, even this time, like, I'm sure you all could picture him like doing the Indian. He's doing the Indian ritual. The only thing he was missing was the sweat lodge. That's the only thing you were missing.
Well, I wasn't sweating. Almost half naked, running around up and down trees like no.
Well, the sweat lodges, you end up having the visions. That's why I said that, because you basically had this vision, in this, because I'm sure were there monkeys really there?
No, it was really just like something that was like carved into
okay.
Like pit actually. I think it was made out of it was just like holes and stuff like that. So when it was along like the fire, fire sort of like brought it out. And it was just like
it was almost like having one of those, like a vision.
Basically. It was, because it was one of those things that told me it was like you needed to come out here and see the world and kind of live like this. But it was also something that was like, okay, but you do need to go back eventually, because obviously, I'm not gonna. You shouldn't be butt ass naked out, in the woods for the rest of your life. But it's definitely one of those things where it's like you need to teach what you've learned, sort of thing. It was one of those visions where it's like you're not done.
Right. And how old were you when that happened?
Shoot, I was like 22, 23. So it was like 4 years ago.
So it was just, and where you're at now is like totally opposite of where you were then.
I sit there and look at it. I'm like, man, what was I on? I mean, I knew what I was on. But I'm just like, man, this is cool. You know what I mean? Because there was one point in time where I was like, man, I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna be covered in dirt. I'm gonna be like this forever, man. I'm gonna be asking people for money and having doing this ritualistic stuff every now and then. But I also know something with visions. You don't treat it like a cigarette. You don't pick up the habit and just continue to do it. No, you have one and then you're done.
Right.
That's how it is. Go show your teachings and go show what you learned. And like I said, I've had a few people that are involved in my life now that are like, man, imagine what would have happened if you hadn't come back from California, man. I wouldn't be at this point or whatever. I'm like, guess I had to, go ahead and spread it. I've even I've impacted. Well, been told I've impacted a lot of people. By the way, I told her I'd give her a birthday shout out. So shout out Kansas on your birthday. Hope you're having a blast, girl. But it's
it's kind of like, I always say when people say, "Oh, I wish I could go back in time," and I'm like, "Do you realize that you change one little thing in your
Butterfly
past,
effect.
it changes everything in front of it."
It does. It's like crazy. Like I've even had the story. I had a friend of mine who I'd known for a while. He was actually one of the first people I recorded with. Like he was an engineer himself, and a former friend of mine put me on to Kruger, and it was one of those things where it's like, had my one friend not gone to New York with this girl he knew. I think he's still doing the whole traveling thing, but I was like, yo, get back in the game, man. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce you to some people. You know, you can build like a studio, man. We can take life by storm again, man. You know, and then he went to New York, and then I was like, all right, I'll go and meet this kid. And now look, he's literally, you know, worked with a lot of different people.
Right.
And I'm just like, man, you know, where would that have gone? You know?
Right. And that's like I tell people, like I told my daughter, I said, I would never say I wish that I did not have children by your father. Because if I had children with somebody else, even though you all they would have the same name, because I have had my children's names picked out since I was in high school, they wouldn't be who they are now. And that's like I don't try to get too deep on some people, because it just goes way past over around their head and between their knees and everywhere else. They just can't grasp it.
Of course. And a lot of people I'm looking at and I'm talking, but I know inside their minds a monkey beating on a tambourine like that. And I can just like hear it. I'm like
Right. Because and it's just like in this music scene, like when I'm like, if I didn't respond back to Bomb that day that he hit me and was like, "Can you listen to my music and let me know what you think?" If I had never went and listened to his music, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And if I'm not where I'm at, then there's probably a few other people that I've directed traffic to and for, and who wouldn't be where they are right now. It's like, when you think about like that, it becomes very overwhelming to think about that. Because like you said, okay, if your friend hadn't left, right, would you be where you are now?
Right. Because
maybe not.
Well, because I look at it, I'm like, okay, like this is a kid who literally self-engineered my entire last album, and every song I will have to come, you know. But I look at it, I'm like, would that have happened with, you know, the other guy? Maybe, who knows? Maybe a different crew would have found him, and then I'd have been left up, you know, Crack Creek or something like that. I wouldn't know.
Right.
I wouldn't know. I look at it. I mean, looking at it now, obviously, I'm like, yeah, I made the better decision. But even, you know, when the guy was telling me like, yo, come meet this kid, I'm like, why should I? Everybody I either, you know, because I was at a point where I was frustrated. I'm like, well, why should I have somebody already waiting in the car? He's like, no, this guy's the one.
Right.
This is the one you need to talk to. And we're going to talk it, you know.
Right. So where have you performed? Because you've gone out of state? Have you gone out of state?
Yeah, I've done shows at the Fillmore. I did like some open mic nights when I was in Cali. Everything else so far has been local. I did do a show in PA, in like, I want to say like sometime last year, honestly. But like everything so far has been local, because it's gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, like the shows are cool and everything, but I want to gather up like my videos, you know, and definitely sort of work on that more, because that's a little bit of a gray area. I mean, I've been shooting videos left and right, but I need stuff that's like, I need to fully put into what I need to be, because now I'm a perfectionist. I'm not just gonna, you know, I don't want to do like, you know, a regular video. I like to do stuff that's like, in a sense, like you're gonna recognize it.
Right.
It goes into the whole being a perfectionist thing.
Trust me, I've posted up pictures. Like I got like, because I take too many pictures at shows, and it is entirely too many pictures. Holiday Shells had over 300 in just their folder. Because why? Because they are very energetic. Their stage presence is awesome, you know. And I just joked with Shells the other day. It's like, why do you think y'all got so many photos from one show? Because their stage presence is there. And but I used to go through every single picture and make sure the lighting was fine, the contrast was fine, making sure that, it wasn't blurry, making everything. Now, I might go through them, I might not. All depends on how I feel right then and there. And it's always the one picture that I think is like one of the worst. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, that is the best picture." And I'm like, really? It's kind of fuzzy and I don't know. So I know the whole perfectionist thing. I'm not saying I'm a perfectionist, but my name is on it.
Right, exactly.
My name is on it. So if my name is attached to it, I have a certain reputation that I want to uphold. You know what I mean? So I don't want my name associated with fuzzy pictures and pictures. Like everybody's dark. The whole picture's dark except for one person, and no.
Right, because that's your stamp on it.
Right. So I can understand I could understand, especially with the videos. Now, since you've come in pretty, recently into the scene, but I'm sure that you've seen before, like before the ability to be able to reach out on the internet, before everybody became a IG famous and and whatnot. So you think it's because I know it's easier now to be able to be seen by millions of people.
Oh yeah.
Do you see? I'm trying to put this into words because I know where I'm going. Okay, my thought is this: nobody really does shows anymore. You don't really see these artists performing. You see them on YouTube videos and IG videos rapping, and then all of a sudden that's the thing to do.
Right.
Do you see that as well, or how do you see how the scene, as far as technology and everything, how do you see like the scene?
I see.
Well, not really the scene, but just music in general.
Music is more than likely gonna be as digital as an everyday thing. Like I've seen people to the point where I've seen like DJs and everything just do like Facebook lives and Instagram lives from their basement.
Right.
It's gonna change. It's definitely gonna be one of those things that obviously like changes with the time and everything. Because we went from like selling CDs out of the trunk of a car to, hey, I'll pay this platform, and now it's on everything.
Right.
And like I mentioned before, like you can see somebody performing on live, and that might do better than somebody just paying a promoter and going out there to a venue. Everything is either do it yourself or very digital. That's the time is going to come
right.
to, like it or not.
Yeah, I just see because I've seen these people when they do perform live, they don't nobody's teaching them how to perform.
Right.
So they're performing over their lyrics, and because they're performing over their lyrics, they're basically lip syncing what they're doing. They're not, the mic's not even up here, the mic is down here, and they're jumping around. So basically this is the scene. The CD is playing,
and you're just jumping around,
and you're just partying. These are I seen a group do this on the stage at Pier 6 from here in Baltimore. I've never seen them at another venue. I'd never heard of them at another venue. They right off the street, right off of YouTube and IG, and because they had a fan base, the radio station played their music, and the next thing I know, they're up on stage at Pier 6 performing, and that's how they perform. So I'm confused that I thought performing was play the track, you rap into the microphone. I thought that's how you did it.
The way I look at it is there's not really like a method on how to go about doing anything anymore. If there's some type of spin on it, and I guess people are bumping it, that's the way it works. Just like, how most people can say like, hip hop can have subgenres and do all that. There can be trap, there could be conscious rap, there could be this. It's kind of like with performing. It's because we've, grown up and kind of like looked at it as this is how this should be done. So when somebody comes by and, kind of like tweaks it or messes with it in a sense, then we look at it like, how are they doing that? No, this isn't performing. Because that's what we've been brought up to believe, or basically seen in a sense. Because if you ask me, like, what is the definition of performing? Honestly, I would say any way to keep the audience entertained. If they're clapping for you, I guess that's entertainment.
Yeah, because for me, performing is not just playing the CD and you rapping over top of it.
Right.
I need to hear you, just like with a singer. Mariah Carey got all kinds of crap because she lip synced because she wasn't feeling well, or she's losing her voice or whatever. But for me, the girl Sarah Z that was here, she won. She was the winner at the second half of the Stop the Violence event up in PA. Solely, it was unanimous with all the judges. She was the winner. From the first time that she opened up her mouth and started singing, Judah Priest sat up in his seat on the edge of his chair and was listening. And the first thing he said when he looked at me and he looked at Jalen and was like, need to hear her a cappella. And I was thinking the same thing. Because we couldn't tell if she was actually singing. We couldn't hear if she was actually singing because she did have her vocals in there. But then we heard it. We heard her voice, but we still need to hear her sing a cappella. Same thing with artists for me, rappers. I need to know that you know the words.
Right.
I mean, if all you're going to do is just play the CD and jump around, well, you could have just handed me the CD. You should just had a single, just handed me the CD. And in my mindset, because for me, it is your craft. And if to me, and I had somebody tell me, well, Rick Ross, I said, do you have Rick Ross money? Or do you have his popularity? Like if he wants to sit up there and he wants to have his lyrics playing, then he can do that because he's Rick Ross.
Right.
I don't know who you are, Lil, whoever. That LOR shit gets me. Excuse me. That stuff gets me. They call my cousin that all the time, and I was like, his name is Little, because his dad's big. You know what I mean?
I guarantee you, there is going to be a day, because it's Baltimore, that there are going to be rappers named Lord Stupid and Lord Dummy, and I'm giving you all this now. It's going to happen.
I believe the dummy one, though.
Lord Dummy, yeah.
I hate that. That's another thing I hate about Baltimore. When they start calling, I said, that's an insult, right? They're basically calling you stupid.
Oh, in a sense. It's Baltimore. We make our own language, our own lingo,
Man. I don't know. I thought I was...
I said, I think it's more stupid than you.
You calling me stupid. You call... Like, the first time somebody said, hey, dummy, I was like, what you say?
Yeah, you go to any other spot in the U.S. and try to say, yeah, what's good, stupid? What's good, dummy? They gonna look at you like, why are you insulting me?
Right. Why?
Right. There's even people when you're like, yo, already. They're like, already for what?
Oh, I'm famous for that one. I am famous for that one. And I'm famous for when somebody like I'm like mad, bet.
Yep.
Bet. What's that supposed to mean? You'll see. Ain't no more talking.
Right.
I don't like all that arguing over the internet or even through text messages.
Oh, no.
I just broke up with my friend just the other day, told him I was done. He was like, oh, that's you. That's not me. I said I was done with this conversation for today. I said, well, I'm done. Yeah. And didn't talk to him for like a day.
The whole day.
Yeah, and then he hit me with some good news for him, and I was like, I'm happy for you.
That's a real breakup then.
I'm not happy for you. But, yeah, I'll never, like, Baltimore slang is crazy to me anyway, just about as bad as D.C. My husband was from Southeast D.C. He hated Baltimore with a passion. He had a love for music like I do. And I remember Breathe had just came out. Fabulous, Breathe. He was listening to it. It was on the computer. He's listening to it. And all of a sudden he stopped. He was like, oh my God, baby, did you hear what he just said? I got to play that back. Mind you, he's 6'4". sitting in a chair or like in his little ball looking on the computer and just like excited about this song. So I like words. So I need to hear words. And if you're on that stage, and I want to hear your words. Now, the bad thing about not having your lyrics on there is when you do forget your words and there's an awkward silence for like the whole verse. That happened at the Ja Rule show. But I gave him points in my head for not having his lyrics on this track. But he should have knew his music.
Right. You should know every song you've done that you recorded, that you performed in a sense.
And even if you don't know it, you rehearse it because maybe there's a song that's like one of your fans said that that you did 3 years ago, and it was like, oh, can you do that song for me? Can you do that song? Can you put that song? And you're like, all right, cool, because a fan asked for it.
Right.
You ain't performed that song in 3 years. Now, when you hear it, the words come back to you. But what you should do is you should practice. Now, I'm learning all this stuff from when Baum was performing back when I used to go to shows. We would be in the car from wherever we came from. If they picked me up or whatever, had to play the show CD and rap along they had to rap along over and over and over. That way, when they got on stage, there was no mix-ups, no mess-ups.
Exactly.
That's
simple as that.
But I know you've seen people that stumble over their words, don't know their words.
All the time. I either chalk it up to being drunk or just plain forgetfulness. I mean, I've even had it a few times, but that was different. I was drunk. But I could honestly say, like, I do know a good bit of my songs, but like there's some I forget. Have you?
Because the reason why I asked this is because we had a conversation. You probably don't even remember at Auto Bar one night. So now that you have basically started to take this all more seriously, the drinking before you get on stage, have you? I'm not gonna say cut it out, but do you know not to, like, I'm not going to get drunk before I get on this stage because I have to get on stage?
Yeah, honestly, I have cut it out because I've kind of figured, like, one, it doesn't help. And honestly, if you want to be technical, I've done a lot less drinking lately. And, like, slowly starting to get to more of, like, a water-based diet. I mean, I still ain't cut out the fast food, trust me, it's going to go too. But it's like a slow process. Right. Like, honestly, getting drunk doesn't bring out confidence when you get on stage. I mean, to some people it might. I mean, but like for me personally, no.
The reason I ask is we were at Auto Bar and you were going to perform and we were talking. I don't know how we even got on the subject. And you were like, yeah, I'm not going to be drunk before I get up on the stage tonight. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's good. But that's a pet peeve for me. Like, I have so many, like, pet peeves when it comes to performing. It's ridiculous. I'm the worst. That's why people always want me to judge things. Because I'm not going to say judgmental, but it's a perfectionist thing for me. Like I said, it's a perfectionist thing for me. And I have told my ex when he would be drunk, he was like, I'm drunk. Da, da, da. I said, why you get drunk before you get on stage? But then when he gets on stage, you can't even tell that he's drunk. I was like, oh, you're a functioning one. Okay, I understand now. Right. But I've seen people get up there and they're just teetotally tore up. Forget the words. I've seen quote unquote big name artists here in Baltimore. I don't even think he's an artist anymore. That was on stage. His eyes were rolling in the back of his head while he was performing. He was so gone. And then started like taunting the crowd. And this was like not a normal hip hop crowd. This was street hip hop crowd. Oh, like these are people. This was like this was little Juju down on the corner.
Yeah, like Block Boy type.
They was all in there, and he was like cussing at them and all this. And I was like, oh my God.
It's gonna be your last performance. You keep doing all right.
Ain't nobody do nothing. Ain't nobody do nothing. They just. I was more worried because I was like, I was up against the speakers in my bag. I'm watching everybody who's going to throw the first punch. But that whole getting drunk, I understand the whole having a drink before you go on stage to kind of calm your nerves. Because do you still get butterflies?
No, not anymore. It's come to the point where Like when it comes to getting on stage, I'm more functional on stage than I am in my own neighborhood. Like honestly, so it's honestly at this point it's just like natural.
Right.
It just comes to me.
Because I've talked to people and they were like, they still get those kind of like that uneasy feeling, like not the stage fright, but you know that adrenaline starts flowing a little bit.
Right, yeah, like you realize, like, okay, I'm in this. Like the lights are all on me.
Yeah, so you know, and then as soon as they step on that stage, it's like
gone,
a whole nother world.
Yep.
And I understand. I understand. I don't like being on stage, and that's just like being host at my own shows and stuff. I don't like that. I don't like that camera being on me. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That's why my camera, I'm on none of my videos. It's always the artist because it's about you. They forced me to be on camera.
It's not an even switch though.
I know. I see you doing a swivel. He doing a swivel. He swivel.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So
But
actual...
I don't like. That's why everything that people can do that I can't do amazes me. I can't rap. It amazes me how people can. I can write, but not in rhythm, not in rhyme. Accidentally sometimes, see? But that amazes me. That somebody, I can't write to a beat. I've tried numerous times. That amazes me. Being able to get on that stage, whether it is 10 people in that crowd or 10,000, that scares me to death. Because all eyes are on you. You know, and it's just, like I said, I got anxiety. So that just, my face turns red and, you know, I just my blood pressure goes up because I don't like that. I'm not a center of center of attention kind of person.
Yeah, I think I like that too. I'm like, I'll take that.
You know.
Mind it, yeah.
So if everybody was here during the interview, you would be the main one.
Basically, I mean, my squad even said it. They're like, "You're the mascot. You're the one that doesn't mind
being
the center of attention." I'm like, as quirky as I am, yeah, I pretty much gotta be.
Jay, can you load up another song?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm gonna take me a little break here. But so what's the
the other one should be called For You. It was actually, this is the crazy part. This was made like, I want to say under 24 hours ago.
Oh my, we're getting this exclusive.
Oh yeah, both those songs. Like,
See?
These are exclusives.
Exclusives.
Yeah.
All right.
Exclusive.
Well, we're gonna listen to For You
And
by.
on air, I'm gonna say this now. I have my engineer's charger in my pocket, and I don't know how I got it.
You stole your engineer's.
I didn't steal. I guess I borrowed
Probably,
it.
you might have just thought it was
You don't know
yours.
How you got it?
I mean, it works. He's sitting right there.
You might have thought it was yours.
I might have honestly, because I'm sitting there trying to find like my own phone charger. I go and look. I'm like, I don't have an iPhone. I actually got taunted for that yesterday. That's the funny.
In the spotlight, your girl Lisa, the bottom of Paparazzi, will be right back after this Power 4.4. And that'll be.
That's a good place to charge this phone.
You're not the boss of me. You're not the boss of me.
Over me, it was safe to swim. Thoughts my mind is red.
But see, but you're like, you're not different, you know, like way out there in left field somewhere.
Yeah, but it's like something you can kind of mesh with. You can hear something like High Times, and then you hear that even you were like, I did not picture a girl was gonna be on this.
Would accept me. Other times you would second guess me. Other times it was hard to look at. Now it's under my skin. Every inch, every mile, every walk through. Not a sign of sin.
Literally, this girl made one song to her name, and it's with the guy from our crew. Doesn't have a music page, no nothing. Just like.
Welcome back to In the Spotlight with your girl Lisa the Bottle Paparazzi Power 4.4. Yeah, that was kind of a surprise one. Y'all wasn't expecting that, was you? I know I wasn't. Yeah.
Right, only the best of the audio at the studios.
But we were saying off air about like how he's different, and I said he's not like left field, far out there different. You know, I mean, I think the dude Lil Nas X came out of like, you know, that was a little strange because for one, there's a stereotype, and it was country rap music from a black man wearing cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. But I just seen where he was getting sued for that song too, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, apparently the sampling I guess they didn't get approved for the sampling. So I didn't read the whole story. I just kind of read, you know.
You saw the headline.
I saw the headline,
Lil
little
Nas
cliff
X
notes.
sued.
Little cliff notes, you know, because I wasn't really interested enough, I guess.
You know what probably happened with that?
Hmm.
He probably got sued because a lot of times people get beats from people and they lease, and the lease runs out. They forget about it, and then
That could be.
pops.
I can see that.
That could be a possibility too. And you know, he was at the CMT Awards or something. He was at some country thing.
The CMT.
He was performing that song, and all them white people was out there vibing to him. You know how that is.
Yeah.
But yeah. Jay kind of just looked at me like, okay. She said that. Yes, I did. I say it all the time.
She ain't lying.
Just like I said, white
No,
people.
I didn't say that in a shock.
No, you just kind of
You
looked
know
at
you
me.
got some soul in you. I already told you that. You're black. You're not really.
I'm doing my ancestry right
Listen, you
now.
and my engineer got revitalized. That's what we call it.
Yeah, that's what it is. But no, I tell people all
She's
the.
not your average. I can just tell you that.
Oh, I know that.
That's why when people say, "Oh, yeah, the reason why white girls are so submissive," I'm like, "Who? What?" Because they just let him do it. What?
I've never been to a Banana Republic in my life.
I haven't. Look, I told somebody was like something about white women taking all the good black men. I was like, I ended up with the worst one. So what are you talking about?
Want to trade?
I said, take my baby father, please. Take him with you. You'll give him back.
Express shipping.
I'll pay for it.
Charge.
I'll pay for it. Yeah. So
Open the box like it's something from Wish.
you never know what you're really getting from Wish. Trust me, I've bought stuff from there.
Like 6 months later.
6 months later, you're like.
Or not at all, and says it was.
I actually just got something from Wish. What was it? I think I ordered like 2 years ago. I'm like, I forgot I ordered it.
It was back ordered.
Y'all must have been backed up. Yo, people
Back.
ordering Wish like that?
Yeah, it says wish.
They thought
You wish you get it.
they thought they was juvenile. They thought they was juvenile. They backed that up.
Yeah, they did. Looking at the set and stuff, I'm like, I ain't even with this girl no more. What is this?
Right.
It's like a memory from Facebook. It just popped up on the worst.
Those be the worst.
Yeah, they do.
But I've had some pop up from 10 years ago, and I'm like, I'm not even friends with that. Never
I'll
mind.
sit there and look at something. I'm like, Zuckerberg, you're really pissing me off. This is not what I needed this morning. I had me a good cup of coffee. Go ahead on Facebook. It's really like that, Facebook. It's really like that. I'm not even friends with
You
this
posted this 10 years
person.
ago.
It's like now I'm deleting it 10 years.
And don't bring it back.
I'm going back 10 years and deleting it off that page.
Right, I can go ahead and chill in the trash folder. I don't need that.
So back to music. And memories. See how I'm tying this thing we just went left
Oh,
over
you
to left
just did
field.
like a Noriega or a drink chat. She was like, so back to music. Yeah, so
Because I know for me, music is my therapy when I listen to it. And I've heard a lot of artists say it's their therapy to get through, things that happen in life. So we were just talking about memories. And for me, when I listen to a song, it takes me back to a place, or it takes me back to a situation. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's like I want to scratch that part of my brain like clean.
Yeah.
So do you have music that you've done that you're like, I don't ever want to hear this song or perform this song ever again in my life?
Couple. I had a couple songs. I'd sit there. I went in. I put in the time. With Kruger. I'm like, no, this just isn't happening. There's even songs that are coming up on my next EP or whatever that I don't know. I had like, yeah, I kind of had like a thing for a shawty, and the song was inspired by her. Every time it comes on, I'm like, Lord, please, not like this. But it turns out, like, I mean, even he was telling me, he's like, dude, this is actually pretty good work going on. Like, I don't know about you, but this is something you should put out. I'm like, yeah, but you ain't gonna catch me, performing it, or if you see videos of it, I don't need any of that.
And I'm gonna guarantee you that song, when people hear it, that's gonna be the one that everybody's like, "Yo, man, I love that song. I can relate to it. I can do it."
Go away. Please make it go away. It was like, have you tried? Listen to Get Back again. Just
Right.
Get this away from me. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, because I think that's like one. I'm sure that anybody that writes music, because a lot of artists, they don't write their own music now that they're big time, because you write what you're going through, what you're experiencing. For me, when I write, I write what I'm going through, or what I'm, like if I'm dealing with about a depression, I'll write about that. Or I could be having a conversation with my homegirl, and the next day it's still in my brain, and I need to almost like flush it.
Right.
So I have to write it out, and gone. It's out. I get it off of my head.
Right.
And then some people be like, "Oh my God, Lisa, blah blah." I'm like, that's not my life. Like I even say there that I had this conversation with my homegirl, blah blah blah. It was so bad that I put up the hook for "Told Me" by Kevin Gates, and I had people on there afraid that I was going to kill myself.
Man, people take Facebook way too daggone literally.
And I was like, my homegirl called me, my one homegirl, she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm just like, I'm in a place that's, that's a hook from Kevin Gates. I didn't put that on there.
Right.
I guess dumb me thought everybody knew the song. And I was like, she's like, oh, you got Tay thinking this. I was like, can you just tell him yeah, somebody is calling you. Take this commercial break right now real quick.
Thank you. Good God. Ain't no better. Like I didn't advertise it. Never mind.
Right.
But yeah, but it's so funny because some people will sit there. I remember, what was it? My ex used to hit me with that. It'd be like, screw you, Chris. I wish I could kick you down the stairs. I'm like, what's that? Oh, these are song lyrics. Girl, I just Googled them song lyrics. That's something like, Weaver, when you get home, I'm going to punch you in the stomach. What song is that? What song is that? It's by Juice WRLD. No, I'm not stupid.
Yeah, but like I had to get her to send him a message saying their song lyrics. She's yeah, because I had logged off, so I wasn't getting any of the notifications. I don't get any Facebook notifications on my phone. I turn that off because it's annoying.
You can do that?
Yes, it's annoying. So I just turn off my notifications so I don't get them. I actually have to go into the app to see that I have notifications. Yeah.
When I see Kruger, I'm gonna ream him out for not telling me that one.
You can do it on the Android too.
Yeah. Oh, y'all so cool with your iPhones.
Look, no. Let me tell you a story.
Megapixel cameras.
Let me tell you a good story about having an iPhone. So, I'm in the car with my son. He just bought, when he got his paycheck from his internship, he went and bought himself an iPhone because he needed a new phone. I said, okay, fine, whatever. So we're sitting in the car, and I'm taking him somewhere, and I told him, I said, well, do you have the address and directions to get there? So he's on his phone, and I'm like, well, he's like, I'm waiting for it to connect or something. I don't have very good reception.
Good reception.
So his phone, yeah. So I pulled my phone. I said, well, I'm just gonna use my phone. Mind you, we're both on Boost. He's got an iPhone. I have a Galaxy 9, and I pull up. I said, put your phone away. Spend all that money for that thing. He said, I hate that whole battle thing. Oh, iPhone's better than it. And I'm like, I don't. Does it make phone calls? Can I play games on it? Can I get text messages? Oh, okay. Everything else is just like cool.
Right.
It's cool. I can access the internet. It's cool that I can, my phone takes pictures, but so does my camera.
Right. Exactly.
So
my phone calls, it texts, it has apps on it. That's all I really need. Honestly, if I want to sit there and take good pictures, I'll get somebody with, a regular camera. I don't need the iPhone GS10.
The only reason why I have this phone, is because my S6, the port stopped charging. That's the only reason why I got this phone. Because I was on eBay looking for another 6. Because that was cool. You need to get the latest one. Why do I have to get the latest one and pay hundreds of dollars for it? Exactly. When I could pay just, a couple dollars for this that does it. Same thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I like my phone. I do. I play lots of games on it. And I like this phone a lot better than the 6 because this has, the memory and all in it. I like it because I play games. So, yeah, I did a whole argument that people have, oh, iPhones are better, no, Androids are better. I'm like, it's a damn...
Someone would rather use a carrier pigeon than use an Android. A rock with hay on it, other than an Android. It's like that.
Right.
It's like that.
That's like people getting mad over football games and basketball games and people getting like these fans that.
Well, no, that's a little different now. Let's be
these
honest.
fans,
the best team in the NFL.
The fans, these fans of these music artists, and I'm like, do you? Jay's over here playing Mr. Miyagi trying to catch the fly.
Got one.
It's possible. I've seen my man Young Simba do that. We were just all having a conversation, soft life. So anyway, something.
Wait a minute, hold up.
I was like, Simba, what?
Right. Wait a minute, hold up.
Hey, even hit us with the.
No, I just out of the corner of my eye, I just seen Jay do something. I was like, what is he doing? What is he seeing? Because I don't see anything. Because I'm looking in the other direction. And
Cool if you caught it with chopsticks,
Right.
Chinese food.
Then he needs the long white beard from I forget his name in Kill Bill. You just stand there with his stroke his beard after he catches the fly.
Right. Is the power in the 4.4? Is the 4.4 in the power?
It's kind of a little spin there.
Right, see, we might have to trademark that. Might have to trademark that.
Just need like a 5% cut.
Well, we could barter.
See, somebody was listening.
Hey, somebody was listening.
Right. Did you notice how the flyer was blue and gold?
Yeah.
I know. Figured I'd try something a little different.
Nice little spin on it.
Exos is more gold than blue because he's got the golden mask.
Gold face killer.
And I changed the mic to gold too.
It's the Goldface Killer.
And I do all that on a collage program. I don't do graphic design. I have a collage program that I've learned how to maneuver and fiddle with to get to where I needed to go. It doesn't always work, but they still come out pretty cool.
Exactly. It's about the person behind the artistry.
I believe that completely because, like I said, I've heard. You ever been at a show and somebody does a song, and then a couple people later, they get on that stage and it's the same exact beat?
Lord, too many times. I've had it. I've done it where, like, in my younger years or whatever, I heard, like, I did a song, and then, like, a couple acts later, they had the same beat. And I was like, that explains why they was looking at me like that. Like,
Right. Somebody's calling you through Facebook. They don't know that you're still on the air. Somebody.
If it's somebody from my Facebook and y'all somehow see this live, just know I'm gonna mangle you.
They probably think that since you're not on live like you were, that now you're off.
Yeah, no. That's not how that works.
That's like I have people that will call my phone while I'm on air, and I'm like, and I'll sit here and I'll text them. I'm like, on air. Oh, you're still doing your show? Apparently you're not tuned in then.
It's even funnier when it's like the same people that'll go ahead and call me or whatever. The same people like, yeah, man, I pay attention to everything you post. Everything
Really?
I post? You mean like that one with the flyer that said from 7 to 9, I'm gonna be busy? That one? Oh, yeah, I must have, skimmed through it.
I feel sorry for whoever that was on that phone.
Oh, yeah. I do too.
Cause
Mango.
Like beating above the head and neck.
that's
Well,
crazy.
Not all that, but I'm gonna give them a nice talking to.
You're gonna get a talking to.
Right. Or I'll have Kruger do it.
He doesn't even look like he would like get mad. Like he just looks like he's just easygoing.
His name is Kruger.
That's
Freddy
like
Krueger?
I know who
That's
Freddy
one.
Krueger is.
Some more Krugers too.
Shit's everything but prices. No, 'cause that's the funny part about it too, because like I was actually looking into like making beats and doing stuff like that, and it's funny because like even him, like he was watching how to make beats. He's like, I can do that. And I was like, yeah, like shrugged it off. I'm like, hey, if you believe in magic. Went to the bathroom. He's like, listen to this. Like the beat came on. I'm like, it's been 5 minutes.
I got told I was doing an interview with somebody with TAGMG, and they were like, I bet Lisa's got like a whole album in her head. Like I bet she could rap. I bet she was like, I was like, probably if I put my mind to it, I probably could. So Mistress Beats, she's a producer, and she makes some awesome beats. Like people were trying to get beats from her, and she's like, I'm gonna have to wait. I've got like this long list, this waiting list. So her and I have this thing about the cowbell because in the 70s, the cowbell was very prevalent in music.
I thought that was just like a Saturday Night Live thing. That was really
But that's where it came from, the cowbell. I need more cowbell. Blue Oyster Cult, Will Ferrell. Yeah, so that's where it comes from. Like, we had this ongoing joke. So one day, I was in the car, and this song came on from the 70s, and I'm hearing this cowbell in the song. Now, mind you, there's other instruments, but my ears tuned in on this cowbell. So I had made a post, and I tagged her, and she said, I bet you can make a beat, Lisa. I was like, please don't put that on my list, because TAGMG just told me that I could probably have a whole album in my head and rap. She said, yeah, you probably could, because like it's funny. I gave this story before. We were at the Crown Awards. Chenier used to have the Crown Awards, and she always had a producers battle where she gave them different names of different songs to sample to make a beat. So we're all sitting there, and I think it was like the first guy that the DJ played, and we're all sitting there. I'm like, it's intro. What in the world? It's just a long, and I'm like, so then it finally kicks in and the DJ cuts it off because there's an allotted time to play this beat. And the guy was like, no, you gotta keep it. I was like, how long do you gotta play it? So then they brought it back, and like everybody's talking about it, you know, how long the intro and everything. So I'm sitting there, I'm sitting on the stage. Everybody else is over there on the stage, and I'm like, okay. It's supposed to drop right there. Only was like, even Lisa knows it was supposed to drop right there. I said, what's that supposed to mean? Even I know. What is that supposed to mean? I've been around music. Now, whether or not I can make a beat, who knows?
Anybody can do anything if they have enough help behind it. That's how I put it. It's like anybody, like really anybody can rap, anybody can make a beat, anybody can direct videos, anybody can do anything in the arts and entertainment industry if you are dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Like, that's real. Now, how you go about it and how you maneuver your way through the business and do stuff like that, that's completely on you. It's like, yeah, anybody can rap. Can they perform? Can they do the management, the other stuff behind it?
You know, and that's it's funny that you say that because I've learned a lot over the years. Like, I didn't know there was a Baltimore underground scene. I don't know where I thought these artists that were on the radio, where they came from. I guess maybe they just poured water, they grew out the ground, and then they were on the radio. I don't know.
I still think that.
But I've learned a lot, and because I studied business, my mind was geared more towards the business side of the music. So I was preaching about you could do all this stuff yourself. I understand you want to get that signed to that label, you know, get signed to Def Jam like Comp did, and get a project that you'll never hear because it's on the shelf and will never be released.
Yeah, screw all that.
Yeah, he got a song with Ghostface and Jada.
That's cool, but where's the creativity behind it? It's one of those things. It's like you handed off your project to somebody else and then said, okay, well that's good, but we're gonna do this to it.
Exactly.
You know, like being independent is kind of the new wave in a sense. That's why I like SoundCloud artists popped when they did 2 years ago. It's about like having creative control because there's never a time I want to sit there and just hear just keep touring, keep doing this, that, and third. Well, I'm like, well, what's going on with my music? You know, this is my baby, this is my project. Yeah. And not only that, but I mean, it was a little while ago I sat there and actually dealt with people that said they were running labels. And that's when I realized how hard-headed I truly was, because they were like, you're going to have to do this day. I'm like, no, I'm not. And they're like, oh, yes, you can. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not. I recently realized, well, not recently, I actually discovered a couple of years ago. It's kind of hard to tell me what to do. I don't even know how I still do a job. Yeah, in this music thing, I'll definitely take advice or anything, but I'm the type of person that it's very hard to tell me what to do. I don't know if that has anything to do with that. I don't think you have adult ADHD at this point. Then they're just like, okay, we diagnosed you with one of the crazy things. It's very hard to just try to basically be like, I'm your superior. I've had people try to do that to me. 9 to 5, let them know hey, I need you to go do this. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And they're like, well, you're going to because I'm your boss. I'm like, no, you're not. they'll literally look me in my eyes like, no, yeah, that's what supervisor means. And I'll be like, I recently realized
I don't know what Jay is doing over there.
I think I just heard my soul, my spirit.
That was the past you coming in.
He just gave me a job. Yeah, it was an ad-lib to ad-lib. But
with the everybody, even back, like I said, 11 years ago, I was telling them they needed to do things on their own. They needed to do things independently. And, everybody's like, I don't know if they just, well, back then it was kind of hard to get your stuff out there. You couldn't get it on any of what was back then? I don't even remember now. But did we even have iTunes back then? Yeah, we must have. I don't remember. I don't remember. But back 10, 11 years ago when I first came in the scene. Like to make a video and put it on YouTube was hard as I don't know what to do. Like to be able to get out there. So people were like, I need that money and that backing. And I'm like, you can get distribution because CD Baby was out then. And that's what Bomb had for his project, CD Baby.
Yeah, I'll tell you it was out there.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't that big, but it was out there.
But to be able to get your music on these different platforms or get your music out there, it was a lot harder and it took a lot more money. Now it's more simplistic and it's easier to get your music on, you know, all the platforms.
Yeah, it's literally like $40 and anybody can do it.
Right.
Like there's like certain sites, obviously, they're like, okay, well, this needs to be done, that needs to be done.
Right.
And honestly, with the way these sites are, I don't know how most artists are getting sued for their stuff because, man, like, I had to literally wait, I don't know how long for Supernova because they were just like little things, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kept telling people for a while, like, no, it's coming. I swear it's coming.
I remember, yeah, because I remember you talking about it before. Because I remember the name Supernova, but it's hard when you have to get stuff cleared. When you have to, because like I another pet peeve is somebody who raps over nothing but industry beats.
Yeah,
I'm like, why are you doing that to yourself?
Yeah, some people are like that. Like I said, I was gifted with a squad where literally every single one of them know how to make beats. So depending on my mood, you know, I'll sit there and be like, hey, Blair, I need a spacey beat. Or hit up Simba and be like, yo, I need a classic beat. Or hit up Kruger and be like, hey, I need like, well, pretty much anything. I've hit it out. So I was basically lucky for that one. Because, like, I don't like the whole going to YouTube and, like, ripping off a beat, you know. Unless I know for a fact I'm going to grab the lease. Because I do even have other outside producers who I sit there and I'm like, hey, man, I need you to, like, hold on to this one. I don't care if I got to pay a little extra, you know.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Even I'll be to the point where I know I'm doing it. I'm like, hey, like, you can even leave your tag in it because most people they've heard like, you know, little snippets of like my recent stuff, and they're like, why'd you leave his I thought you bought the video. I'm like, I did, and they're like, well, why'd you leave the tag in? I'm like, just show love, you know. I could put produced by Jody in something, but it's like I leave the tag in, sort of like this is Baltimore.
Oh.
That's a Baltimore moment right there.
I thought somebody was out front.
Yeah.
Oh, the tax guy. Yeah.
I got the IRS at the door.
No, he does taxes or something upstairs. We play this last song.
Alright, yeah.
What's the name of it?
Nice to know you. I like to take different directions with my music, so every once in this is what I say, like I get in certain moods and then these come out of it. Now whether you know that was all my decision to go ahead and email it to you, that was completely different. Like, oh God, I never know what to think with this one.
It's In the Spotlight, your girl Lisa the Bomber, Paparazzi Power 4.4. We'll be right back after this.
was gonna say after the show you stop. And make like 3 different videos. My live messing up. I got like 5 different sets of videos. I'm looking at them. Somebody's like, "Wait, what happened to your live?" My phone died.
Welcome back. It's in the spotlight with your girl Lisa the Bona Paparazzi. I don't know what just transpired. Did he tell you he liked it or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. I was like, all of a sudden, I was just seeing the little yes motion. I was like, okay, like from was it from the Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was just seeing that. I was like, what did I just miss? Because I couldn't hear the conversation because the music was playing.
Oh.
And I was like, and I just turned around and looked. And he's like, yes. I was like, okay, I guess maybe he told me like, I don't know, maybe.
Basically one of those things. Like, yeah, I like your music.
Yeah, because it's different, but it's not left field, far out, way out there. You know?
It's not like buku crazy, but I mean most people can usually jive to it.
Right, and that to me that's the most important thing.
Yeah,
you know?
totally. We can put it in a playlist once you release it.
Right.
And that's worthy news.
Oh, yes, it is. I understand now. I'm seeing more clearly now. I was in the middle of being somebody texted me asking me where to meet at. And I was like, I don't know. Where do you want to meet at? This is what I just asked you. Oh, Jesus. Why is it got to be so difficult? Just say something.
Right. What's wrong with people? This is why I tell people I'm from space. People suck. Not all of them. Except my fans. You guys rock.
Not you guys. You guys
are cool. I could be around you guys. But
yeah, because you're my fan, so that means you like me, you like what I like, so yeah.
Yeah, so you guys must be cool.
Or
you're buku crazy.
You got tight shit.
Right. Then he pops up, steals a fly out of the air.
Right. We got all kinds of stuff going on here tonight. What the hell? Oh my God. But yeah. So I am trying to multitask, and my brain is not allowing me to multitask. There it goes.
Like a multitasking tonight.
I'm tired. I've been up since, let's see, my daughter called me at like 4 something this morning to come get her from work.
I promise you, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm getting something to eat.
I don't care what it is. I gotta eat.
I don't care what it is. I'll eat a fried boot. No, just got some hot sauce on it. Still fried.
Ain't that something? So, let everybody know where they can find you, your music.
Absolutely. You can find me on literally all digital platforms. My IG is lowercase KIDD_Kong with a K music. You can find me on Snapchat, DZYNR Gang Kong. And on Facebook simply is Kid Kong or Chris Weaver.
Well, if you put in Kid Kong, it's gonna come up because that's what I did because I could never remember what his name was. And then when I said, you're such an idiot, Lisa. You know what his name was the whole time.
I was gonna say I'm on Google too. Like you just type in Kid Kong and then you see my goofy face pop up.
Isn't that wonderful when you can do that?
Right. Like I was sitting there like the first time I'm like, oh, I'm on Google. Like it was an accomplishment. I'm like, I did it.
Yep.
Nah, it was just more of like cool because I'm like, man, like there was a point in time like a couple years ago I'm like, man, I'm gonna be stuck out in this wilderness forever. I'm gonna be doing this homeless thing for a minute. And now I look at it and that's not even a thing anymore. So
right.
it's cool to see the transition to like how I felt. As soon as I stepped on.
Now have you written a song about that? About how you feel about that?
No, because I've already pretty much milked that story to people. People already get the gist of where I've come from, what that's about. I mean, there might be like a song in the future where I talk about it, but it won't be like you won't know that I'm talking about it. like, you know me, I like to put different metaphors and stuff like that in it.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, like pretty much everybody, well, not like everybody, but a good chunk of people that know me know the backstory.
Right.
So I didn't want to milk it. I don't want to make my whole thing about, oh, his home was the, you know, triumph and stuff. Like it's cool, but I mean, you know, there's people that have been through worse.
Yeah, I'm just for like your future fans. Like, I guess, like you said, like when you know, progresses a little bit, you know,
Right.
and they don't know that story.
Probably like more than likely it'll go in a bio, because that's definitely obviously like a huge part of what made me today. You know, having to go out there and basically struggle, nights hungry, you know, sleeping under tarps in church parking lots and stuff. Like it'll teach you a little bit about yourself as a person and how you have to grow. So
Right.
that's why I look at it as that is something that's, you know, I'm gonna let people know. I
Right.
don't know, maybe I might write a book.
That would be good too. Here we go with this damn tickle in my throat again.
Yeah. You need another bottle of water?
I don't know.
Or a cough drop.
Yeah, I got something going on with my
It's always
sinus.
the end of the show.
Right. I don't know why. Maybe because I've been talking too daggone much. I don't know.
It might be the Congo fever. It's like you
Congo.
realize.
Goddamn fever.
It could possibly be that.
Can you imagine that, being allergic to an artist? That explains why her face scrunches up every time she
Right.
sees me. She's like, it's like there's a cat in the room.
I need a Benadryl. I need a Benadryl. Yep.
We'll call it Ben a Kid.
That's crazy. That's crazy. See, I like people that are just as goofy as I am, because like it's like stuff just comes like you don't even really think about it. It just comes out of your mouth, and you go, "Oh, that was good. That was good."
Right.
Pat yourself on the
how I am.
back.
Most of the people in my crew, I literally sit there and it's like, yo, did we get any work done? We made each other laugh for like 10 hours straight. I'm like, did we get any work done?
You're like,
Right, like
No.
really thinking back, I'm like, no, it didn't. Like, all right, restart the day.
man, because I just say things and then be like, "Oh, that was funny."
Right,
I didn't even try to be funny.
I
It
make
just
jokes
happened.
literally everywhere I go. Like I remember, what was it at the sound stage? You know, I did with Marvelous. I remember going around with a balloon. I drew a face on it, and I put what was it, all the way G shirt around it. And I was telling people, I was like, my baby doesn't know there's loud music's going on. That's you know, just running around with it. And people were looking at me, you know, all kinds of like, well, obviously, you know, like you got your people that are too thug to smile, you know, so they just like, you know, and then you got like, you know, other people just kind of like laughing at me, because that's like my whole thing, you know. I mean, you've never been killed by laughter. Like,
You could laugh yourself to death.
I have never heard of one case of that. And
Did you ever
that's-
watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The weasels died because of it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, wouldn't that be something, right? Don't put me in a comedy club then, because that's the last thing I want to do to my fans. Can you imagine going out that way? Like, man, I just laughed at him for an hour, now look at me. Like a ruptured an artery. Like, if I hear that happen,
No,
I can't be around my people.
laughter is the best medicine for anything. Like I said, I'd rather laugh than cry. Yeah.
Right, exactly. No, I don't like all that. Honestly, I don't remember. And this isn't like a macho thing. I don't remember the last time I cried. Like I even sat there. What was it like? Like I heard something sad. I was like, like somebody, like, what are you trying to do? I'm like, I'm trying to cry. Like, how do you do this thing? Like, do you laugh really hard and then just kind of like go with emotions, or I don't know. What do you do? They're like, is that a serious question? I'm like, I forgot.
Well, you're blessed to that, because I cried at the drop of a hat.
I see it.
Could be a really nice hat.
That's what we say about quick people.
Right, right.
Quick draw.
Cha-ching! Yeah. So, all right. Well, it's come to the end of the night, and I thank you for coming and entertaining me and talking with me about everything and anything, something that had to do with nothing, because that's what I do. I just like conversation, and through conversation, you find out more about somebody than just asking them questions off of a piece of paper.
Yeah, of course.
You get to see where their mind is and talk about, because people drop their guard. I've had people, I didn't know exactly what you were going to ask, and I was like, I didn't know I was going to ask either.
Right.
Like, that was the best interview I've ever had. I was so relaxed. Kyle, well, he goes by Xavier James. And we sat and talked for 3 hours one night. And he was like, oh my God, it's been 3 hours? I was like, yup. I didn't know it either. We just kept right on talking. Because there was never a show behind my show at Hardbody. So
That's the best kind where you don't even know you're on an interview. You're just sort of laid back, chilling.
Didn't realize there was cameras, none of that. We just had a conversation. But you always learn. And that's why I said a long time ago, I stopped calling these interviews, because I had questions. I had baseline questions, but I always, something would click. Like somebody would say something, and then I'd be like, okay, well, ask them this. And then, and it just goes from there. And no two people are alike, so why should I have the same questions? And why should I ask you the same thing that another person's going to ask you?
Right,
like,
exactly.
So
Right, it's like you're going to hear this a million times. Why not go ahead and be the different one? It's exactly what we were talking about earlier, being somebody that's different. Somebody can sit there and read out a piece of paper, or what do you call it, the Lisa, you just take a picture, look back at your phone, take a picture.
Right.
Like anybody can sit there and do that, but if you sit there and go a different lane, you're going to remember the time you was having a ball laughing it up, over at Power 4.4.
Always. Like I said, I'm different anyway. And I'm happy to be different.
I'm the definition of
yeah, I opened up I didn't open up the dictionary, because I don't even know if I got one at the house. But I opened up my dictionary.com and looked up different, and there was a picture of you. Yeah. So.
I can see that. There are a couple times he's tried to take me to Shepherd Pratt. I'm like, you can't take me alive. And he's like, all right.
So I thank you for coming through and sitting there talking, and the exclusives. They're awesome.
Right.
Music's even being talked about putting into rotation. Yes.
Hit the marge on it.
So
thank you for having me.
Of course. So next week I have none other than Exoskeleton. That's going to be awesomely fun, because me and Exa go back way back, Sonar days. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you here in the spotlight with the Bono Paparazzi, Power 4.4. I will see you next Saturday from 7 to 9. Thank you. Be safe.